We just got these glasses together, but I don't have mine on me right now.
You guys got those?
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
You got them at
A
Bloom?
new shipment came in at Blue Maven, and we grabbed the only 2 lime green
They're
glasses.
kind of Barbie-like, too.
No wonder we love them, because we're Barbie girls.
Yeah, they're kind of retro.
They
They're
are.
retro.
They're sick, though.
They're
I
retro
like 'em.
Barbie, and we're both wearing leopard today, and,
Happens all the time.
it does. It does.
Makes sense you guys are friends.
I think so.
Who played with Barbies longer?
It sounds like it was a tie.
I know.
I mean, we don't even have to go there. Out of respect,
But you were just saying, you were like
game.
in high school saying like, I should stop playing with Barbies.
Going into high school, I had a conversation with Lauren, and we were like, we really need to stop.
We're going to be in high school now.
Because things are changing, It was
It's like
just
an addiction that you had to get rid of.
Yeah.
Like, we got to stop now.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
so
like,
one more. Like, did you do one more last?
yeah, I'm pretty
play?
sure it was like we played.
This is
Yeah,
the
it's so
last one.
sad. It actually breaks my heart that there was like a last time you do all the things you love as a kid. It's so sad. They always say that. They're like, one of those days it'll be the last time your kid asks to be picked up.
Wow, yeah.
It's heavy shit.
And what would you do with the bar? It'd be like, hey, like,
I was all just about like changing her outfit and her hair constantly. You know what I mean?
I did dramas, but
you create like a
I
world,
also
or you would
love
just
the
do the
clothes.
dress up?
I mean, I was really into the dress up, but actually
Pull that mic closer to you.
oh,
My mom actually had brought this up kind of recently. This girl Jessica Wolfinger that I hung out with. That we would play Barbies, and my mom, she was kind of an intense person, and she would come in, and it would be like really dark, and Jessica was really into like fighting with the Barbies, making it like a reality
show. Yeah.
TV show,
Right.
like she already had it in her. And I actually think we videotaped too. We had one of those recorders, and
awesome.
my mom was like, "This is very Swedish or something." I remember she like saw the film that we had made, and she's like, "Jessica is very like it's very serious and stern or something." That was, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, not all like Barbie play matches up. You can't just play with everybody.
Yeah.
'Cause there are different styles to the game for sure.
So what was your guys' style?
I don't know. I feel like there was like storytelling and dressing up and acting shit out.
It's kinda like playing house,
kissing. Yeah,
right.
yeah. Like it was like just.
A lot of
yeah,
I
exactly.
hardly had any Ken dolls though.
I had Ken dolls. I
stole my brother's
New Kids
G.I.
on
Joe.
the-
He was
no.
way hotter than Ken. G.I. Joe was
G.I. Joe was
like,
fit.
well, and he was like manly. Ken was so girly.
Ken was a bitch.
Yeah.
And G.I. Joe could like handle his shit.
So I
G.I.
mean,
Joe,
yeah,
like,
he was ready to go out and like fight
Right.
battles and
Right.
have like muscles.
He'll protect
and, like,
you.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Ken was not gonna do shit.
No, you'd be on your own. If shit goes down,
You would be
You're like-
protecting Ken.
you're like, oh, well, Ken's gonna, Ken? And like Ken's just like,
Exactly. Yeah.
running
He's
away.
running.
Yeah.
He's like,
little bitch ass Ken.
he has like flip flops on. You know what I mean? Too. Where it's just like we got to go fight this
Yeah,
battle, and
how
like
helpful
GI
are
Joe
you?
has like boots. He's ready to
Yeah,
pick you up
steel-toed
and run you
boots.
away. And Ken's like in what are those white shoes? The white loafers,
yeah.
and
the
like
Sperry's.
Yeah,
You're thinking Sperry's, I think.
Like boat shoes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
boat
Like
like
shoes.
the boat shoes. He would be wearing those. And you're
G.I.
like,
Joe also
Yeah.
just had more like working joints, you
Yeah,
know? Like,
100%, yes.
Because he could like get his knees
Yes.
around you, and like Ken
Yeah.
couldn't even bend his legs, right? Barbie couldn't bend her legs,
No,
could she?
her
They
legs
made-
were stick straight for a
they-
while. The
they
better legs
made-
were stick straight.
I had gymnastics Barbie. Of course I did. Like,
Oh, so she was all
Yeah.
kind
oh yeah,
The
she
knees,
bent.
the
She
elbows.
was like,
she had elbows.
you could, yeah, she-
Groundbreaking.
Yeah. And she could do ballet. She could like do her. You know,
I
it
had
was like,
some of those that bend. I
Yeah.
think I preferred the others, but that's funny. You were like doing choreography.
yeah, 100%. And GI Joe
Some
was
things
capable
never
too
change.
to dance. He could dance because he
Nice.
could move his leg up. He could like.
Yeah,
GI
that's
Joe
true.
was dope. Ken,
We had,
no.
I inherited a lot of Barbies my sister had in the
Right.
80s, which was cool. There was this one like redheaded girl, and she just had like basically what was crimped hair, but like a fro. It just so much of it, and she was awesome. I think she's back at my sister's now. If Sadie didn't bite her head off yet, there was she like ate Barbies. Didn't play with them, but like just mauled
Sadie
them.
did?
Oh yeah.
That's funny.
Like bit a nose, it's easy to bite the noses off of. And
Wow.
So that was the other thing, though. Did you ever have the moment of like just like pulling Barbie's head off on like just to see what was underneath and then trying to get it back on? It was like the worst thing ever. You're like, I'm sorry.
Or like you cut her hair, you're like, it doesn't grow back.
I cut their hair and regretted it. And then there was one house I lived in that had like a big clamp in the basement on the table, and I used to go down there and like squeeze her face and then change her makeup with gel pens.
And you're like, I'm mutilating her. Why did I do this? Or
I'd puff her up and then redo the colors.
It's funny. I'm kind of making fun of you guys, but I did similar shit. Like we just didn't have Barbies, but we had like G.I. Joes and like action figures. We called them guys. We're like, you want to play guys? Let's play guys, which just meant we were either playing cars or playing guys. And playing cars was like Hot Wheel cars and like
building bomb tracks.
Yeah, building tracks, but you'd also create like a world, like, oh, this is my guy, and he, you know,
or like army men, like boys.
Hannah called me out of the shop today to point out a car she liked.
Yeah, I love cars.
It was cool. I also liked the car.
Cars. I love old cars.
It was a Toyota.
Oh, it was
Camry.
no, hell no. Ground.
Like,
wow, look at this. You know what though?
Christine, get out here.
But then also like a Camry is such a like great useful car.
Very
I have a
reliable
Camry,
car.
and I love
No,
it.
but they're like the best cars. So
But
it's
it's
like
not like a showstopper.
No,
you know?
hell no. I wouldn't be like, come look at this fuck.
No.
Camry
Look
over.
at that.
Unless
What's
it was,
that,
like,
like a
decked out.
2016 right there?
Yeah.
Prospect? No, that's a Subaru. It was a.
No, it was like the equivalent of the Range Rover. It was the
What did we call it?
Land Cruiser. Land Cruiser?
Like a Jeep, like a truck.
Yeah, big
No,
guy.
It was but it was there's the ones from like back in the day. There's like there's the 4Runner, and then there's the other one that was like the copy of like the English safari cars. We were talking about this earlier. Am I getting them
Land
wrong?
Rover? Not a Land Rover?
Land Rover.
yeah.
So the Land Rover, and then there's the Range Rover that Toyota
Yes.
made, right? Yes, so it was a Range Rover. It
Oh,
was
I thought Range Rover and Land
think-
Rover is the same
yeah, I think
company,
they
just
are.
one's boxier. But you know more about cars than me. I don't know shit.
don't quote me.
I
on
thought
that.
those two cars.
But you just appreciate the aesthetic, or you know like the inner workings?
No, I mean I just
pretty.
like I like the way they look. You know, like I'm definitely
Same.
like
I'm a big BMW person too.
even
I
like
was-
motorcycles. I don't know a lot about them, but I love the way they look. They're beautiful.
Yeah, they're
You know what I
cool.
mean? They're really cool looking. Really like this bracelet looks like the jugs on a motorcycle. You know what I'm talking about? Like it's the
No, I do not.
I don't know what jugs
next
are.
time you go to,
Jugs.
you know what
right?
jugs
Huh.
are.
I don't
Saw
know
jugs on a
jugs.
motorcycle once. But, it's different.
Yeah, it's like the two sides, like, and they have like ridging, like
Still don't know what you're talking about. Two jugs
sides,
on a motorcycle.
same thing, you know. But it's all exciting and very pretty, right? And like no matter what jug we're talking about, jugs are great. Should we?
We can
Jugs
all
are
agree.
great.
I think we can all agree and move on from
It
here.
unifies everybody.
Yeah.
So what's your like dream car? Like you have unlimited money, but you could only have one car.
Only one.
Oh, for sure, a Bronco.
Nice.
Yeah, the old Broncos are amazing. Like, I guess,
Yeah, that's like
like
what
a
Hans has. Right?
70s or the
He
60s,
sold it,
70s.
didn't he?
I think you still got it.
But they're beautiful. They're functional. They have like it's like the back, but it's covered.
Right.
It'd be good for camping, but they're gorgeous.
Yeah,
you
they
know,
are.
like
So
the-
high up.
That I think because I'm a petite person too. Once I got this F-150, I was like, I rule the world.
Yeah, that truck is sick.
It's sick.
Yeah.
It's so great.
That's
like,
a recent thing you have?
Yeah, it's my dad's old work truck. I always get
Nice.
like, or actually, it was a newer one. This is the first time that normally it goes down the siblings. There's 5 of us. It was the first time that he was like, take the F-150, but it was more so to drive through Phoenix too, because we've always been trucks. The last one was a Colorado, but being high up, especially when you're petite, you feel some power you don't feel in your everyday life.
Sure.
Yeah.
I used to drive
Yeah.
a Chevy Blazer. That was pretty fun.
Oh, that's the same. Actually, so I would take a Blazer or a Bronco. I think there's like
I almost got a
Chevy's
I almost
version.
got a Gumby green Bronco after that going into college, but instead ended up buying a light blue Volkswagen convertible
cute.
Beetle, little bug.
What happened to that car? It just died?
That
over
car
time?
like would always die anytime it was below 50 degrees. Like the battery just couldn't handle it, and that was mainly fine in Arizona. It wasn't
Right.
fine, but like I was walking and I could walk places and like it was good, but it wasn't good in Indianapolis. So I sold it, and it
You
was.
drove it to Indy and
I
then had
drove
to get
it
rid
to
of it.
Indy. Yeah, I
Got
went
it.
on a road trip cross country. I like loaded all my stuff up when I moved to Indianapolis on a big like truck They dropped it off and I filled it up for like a day, and then just drove back.
Got you. Yeah, I feel like...
But I had to sell it, and it was really hard because the car was stalling constantly. It was like cold, and I literally had to go to the dealership and like leave it running because I was like, it'll stall in this complex, and I'll be like, here's my working car, and it won't even get to the back,
So you lied. So you committed a crime.
I did. I did.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do.
Literally, the car did stall in there. I had to get jumped in the parking lot to deal with it. But yeah.
Oh, okay.
Anyways.
So your lie was foiled.
Yeah, it didn't work out. I got spoiled. It got foiled. It got foiled? That's a weird one.
Foiled, I wasn't sure about it as I said it. Did I use that right?
Foiled the plan. I feel like it's a saying.
The plot was foiled?
Yeah, no, I hear.
I don't know if I've ever heard that. Is that a new thing? Like,
I feel like I've heard that.
It's not new. It's old, if anything.
That's the oldest. It's one of those.
It's too old.
My daughter's coming up with these new things where I'm like, I've never.
Oh, yeah. What are the hip terms?
Riz.
Yeah.
Sure.
Riz, I didn't know.
Took me a long time to learn that one.
Yeah, the Riz, and then I thought of Riz in Greece. Who had Riz? Right?
Yeah,
she did.
She did.
Rizzo?
Have
Or just
Rizzo.
Riz? Was she just Riz?
It was Rizzo, but she went by
Riz.
Riz
Yeah, they
was
called her
Riz
Riz for short.
nickname.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
was like, well, she had Riz, but when she started saying that, I was like, I don't know. I am struggling to remember the new one that was like yesterday. I was like, what does that mean? And she explained, but it's all the time now. I'm like, I need to get with it.
Mm-hmm.
Or
it's hard to keep up.
Or don't.
What are you going to do?
Because
I still like using dope.
Yeah.
Everything is dope. I love dope.
We don't need to be hip.
No.
And nothing sounds. It always sounds weird when you try those words. Like it just is not really in our register. Our repertoire.
Bet. Our 5-year-old.
Bet. That's another one she
Bet's
did.
a big one.
Bet's a big one, and I was like, bet.
Or like
but
full send. What
actually, I had a guy say bet to me, and I had to he sent it to me, and I was like, I had to Google it and be like, bet.
What did he mean by this?
Yeah, and then I was a little bit like, you're too old for this.
Bet just means like yes, affirmative. Like you can bet on it. You know, like hey, like
you
let's
can
go
bet
to dinner.
on it.
Great. Yeah. It's like bet. That's just like
you betcha.
Confirmed.
Maybe?
Yeah, you betcha.
You betcha?
It's kind of like you betcha.
That actually made it sound better.
Yeah, I guess it's like you betcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it you betcha? Is it like you can bet on it? Because I always thought of it as like
you can bet on it. Yeah.
You betcha.
You betcha means
bet.
Sure as
maybe that's
sure as
what
hell
it is.
It's gonna happen.
You bet.
Yeah.
You bet you can. You bet you'll count on me. Bet.
Yeah.
I guess it's just that.
Now I'm understanding. Okay.
Our 5-year-old nephew is here, and he kept like we were playing soccer a lot, and if he like did a good kick, he's like, "Oh, I'm totally goated."
Oh,
which is like when you become like the goat. I don't know.
Oh, I don't think you did.
He's like, "Oh, I'm so goated," and he kept like throwing this phrase around, which like
humble.
There can't
He's
be so many
humble.
goats. This is the problem with this goat term really taking off. If everybody's the fucking goat, nobody's the goat.
Yeah.
We can't throw around goat so much.
I agree.
No.
But he's 5.
Too casual with it.
He probably hears it from like YouTube videos of people like playing video games saying like I'm goated. But yeah, he just kept saying, "Oh, I'm so goated."
That's so funny. You saw the baseball picture of him today?
No.
Oh gosh, he got like his little baseball sports photo and his whole little outfit. He's just so cute.
But yeah, there's something like I don't know. You shouldn't try to keep up with the kids. I guess some people who are like 40 probably like just have naturally stayed with it and just naturally say like bet.
No.
But if you're forcing it, I don't know. It's weird.
All the things are like coming like back around too. Like my daughter has learned her music taste definitely from me. I'm a big music person, but it's like I introduced her to like Blink-182, which is like cool again. And she's like, it's the best thing ever. And then I guess she had a teacher at school that is cool. My mom, and she's like, my mom knows this. I love Blink-182, or like Biggie, like Notorious B.I.G., where it's like she's showing me her stuff, and I was like, some of it, I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, this is terrible. And then I go back and listen to what I was listening to. I was like, this is terrible too.
Like a terrible influence on a child, or
just the lyrics.
Yeah, the lyrics.
You didn't realize that you were singing. You know what I mean? It's the classic.
Biggie has some pretty intensely not okay lyrics.
Oh, 100%. And I loved him too.
Yeah, I still love Biggie. Biggie's great.
I
think he's the best. I think
he's the best too. I think he's
goated.
the goat too. I think he's got more
Totally
riz than
goated.
anybody.
He's got the most riz.
Yeah.
He does.
Full
He does.
He's full
Oh,
riz.
he's so rizzed. Yeah.
He's so rizzed. I don't know if riz is. Oh boy, rap.
This is why we're not doing
It's
it.
cool though. Blink-182, like, I mean, you could have predicted, but it's like that's oldies now. Like when we were like, you know, in middle school, being like, I love Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Our parents were like, wow, like that's what I was listening to when I was young, you know, and like
Yeah.
Blink-182 is that now. Like that's how much time has passed, and it doesn't feel the same, but it's exactly the same.
But it's also, I'm stoked where I'm like, oh,
Same.
you want to listen to this? Yes, I am in. Like,
Right. I'll take this
100%.
over
Yeah.
like
the other. Yeah.
some other shit.
No,
I mean,
there's
these are some of the
like,
CDs I saved, like my
I
surviving
love
CDs,
that you framed them.
right?
Especially the burnt CD.
you
That
see
is
the
coolest
chicks.
thing
You see
ever.
the burnt CD. I disintegrated because I listened to it so much, and that's like a random artist outside of Henderson, Nevada, and she plays at like bars, and sometimes I can find her shit on like Twitter. But then Paul did a deep dive on the internet and tracked her down because that was one of my sister and I's favorite ever.
Yeah, that's like it's literally like a burnt CD is just like some local girl made and like they had and got obsessed with. So like
I
the
love
music's not on
that.
Spotify or anything. But yeah, I found her on Reverb Nation, which was like a MySpace for musicians.
He was
back
like
in the
a
day.
full-on detective, and then we
Detected.
played it in the car
Love
with my
that.
sister, and sure enough, she like reacted right away and was like, "How did you find this song?"
What other stuff is your daughter into, like musically? Either the bullshit new shit or the good shit old shit.
You know what? It's like, but she has gotten me into so much that I love Mac Miller. I love Mac Miller.
Miller's so
Is
great.
wonderful. Like
Yeah, I agree.
so talented, so
Super good. It sucks he died because like every album he did was better and better. Like,
Oh yeah, he was incredible,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
I didn't. That was just something. I mean, I kind of, you know, like I try not to country. I can kind of get. I love country, but I will stick to the music that I really like to listen to in my car, and listen to whatever I want to 100 times if I need to listen to
Yeah.
that song 100 times. You know, and my daughter will really get me to like, can we listen to this? And sometimes I'm like, nope, skip, not listening to this song. But other times I'm like, dang, this is great. This is amazing. So Mac Miller, Billie Eilish, of course, I heard like on the radio, but like
So great.
she is fantastic. She
Yeah, she's
is
cool.
so good, and I like her attitude towards life too. She's like one of those where I'm like,
Yeah.
Lois,
Still living with her family in her house, and
Yeah, but she's
Eagle
great,
Rock.
and her music's amazing. She's
Also,
another-
she's not like some kind of plastic role model. She's like a
Absolutely.
real human type.
Yeah.
Of, like it'd be cool. Someone you want your child looking up to, I would think,
Absolutely.
is Billie Eilish, who's
Absolutely.
like she doesn't give a fuck, and she's like she's beautiful and pretty, but also like not.
she doesn't
Yeah.
have the skinniest body, and she's proud of it,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
she doesn't care because also, I mean, that part. I think that comes with truly knowing that you're good at whatever you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, I think people need like
Confidence.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like the thing that they're really. She knows that she is so talented and good, and so therefore, I think confidence like follows that when you're.
good
Really
people in your
killing.
corner, you know.
Yeah,
she has
that
a
too.
brother she's, like,
Supportive family.
Her parents,
dangerously
too.
close to, you know, family. No, I don't know. They're like really close though.
They've yeah. I mean, I think I've thought that like there's provocative songs, but also then there's no judgment with art, kind of.
Oh,
you
no.
know?
No
Like,
judgment. It's amazing that they like
But you're right.
support each other that much to make such a big like volume of work. They've made so much music together, and it is like I think like hauntingly beautiful.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
so great. They're Phineas too. We saw him at the farmers market one day in LA, and Paul had many regrets because he didn't have any business cards for his band.
Yeah, I was too scared to go to introduce myself. I'm not good at like. "Hey,
Really?
Excuse me. Yeah, I'm not.
Excuse me.
I'm not good at it at all.
It's so funny. I would think that you would be like, you seem like a very confident person.
People
Like,
say
you're
that.
very-
I think I'm good at faking it or something. I don't know. I am confident. I feel confident, but I'm not confident in that scenario. Going up to
Right.
someone like, "Hey, check out my band."
Right.
Even showing you that music video just now. I was
Talking,
like,
I'm
I'm
the
gonna
same
do the
way.
dishes and I'm gonna go hide in the kitchen because
I
like
am the
it's
same
uncomfortable.
way. Like it's weird that you say that. Like with my dancing, where I'm like, I should be proud of this. I should show people whatever, and then I get even like, I'm gonna take this down. Like it's just not like, or I don't want all these people to see. Or what if this person thinks this, or you know what I mean? But like,
Yeah.
promoting.
We gotta
even
get
though
over
I
that.
should be absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We are having a
Working on it.
conversation with our buddy JC, and he said there's this teacher on TikTok or something, and she does this mantra with her kids in her class. She says, "What do we say, kids? To be cringe is to be free."
Yeah.
Like, can't be afraid to be cringy. Like, you just have to kind of
and I think
put things out. Like, I cringe at myself so much, you know.
Well, and not to be, I think Dolly Parton, I think, is the biggest that says this, is like she's not afraid of failing. My dad, who's somebody I look up to more than anybody, is like, he's not afraid of failing. And then, has always told me the things he's even like failed at. Like, like I failed this electrical test and then I got it like the third time or whatever. And if we let that go, it would be great. And the other thing is what people think about us. Like, that's the other thing that's really hard. And the reality is, too, hardly anybody's actually thinking about you. They're thinking about themselves.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, I know.
But it's like,
logically you know that,
Yeah.
but it's easy to convince yourself otherwise, right? It's like the same way we forget how dangerous it is to drive. You just tune some things out.
You're like, it's fine.
You're like, it's fine. I'm in control. But
Yeah, I was thinking the other day, like, I think I should start just like pursuing failure, because like I am afraid of failure. I should like plan, like, I'm going to go in, I'm going to go try to fail.
I'm going to go do something I know I can't do.
Yeah. Or like, I'm going to show my music to someone like until someone tells me they hate it, Cause like if I'm like, I need it to be so good that everyone loves it, then I'll never show it to anybody.
Yep.
So like, I'm sort of trying to like reshape my brain to like pursue failure.
Same.
It's tough though.
Yeah. I mean, failure. And I think I'm less afraid of failure than I am of like, like the like what people are thinking, which I need to conquer. That's mine to conquer.
Judgment.
Really. Judgment. Yeah. Or like, like, well, especially with some of the things I do where I'm like, okay, like people are going to like have their opinions on it, like, of course everybody does. My whole thing is like, don't judge what other people do unless they're doing something that's
your pole dancing
bad.
you're referring to.
Absolutely. I think that everybody has an opinion on it, or like what it,
But I also think that it's kind of like tattoos, There was a time where it was like way socially faux
100%.
pas and like counterculture, and then it normalized over time. I think people look at pole dancing as like an art form and a source of exercise and a tool for empowerment, and a lot of other, there's like people see the positivity.
They do, but then,
obviously not.
Yeah, but then there's like my mom who like has come around to it, but then, oh, you're wearing the shoes. Not the shoes. And it's like Barbie too, like, where I'm like, but Mom, they come in sparkly colors and they're pink, and look at this one, it has swirls on it, and like, it's like, it's part of that too, like the outfits and
the pageantry.
Do you have a problem telling people that you do pole dancing, or is it harder to show it to them?
It's actually easier for me to show it to people, especially because I think that it's really a sport for me. I focus a lot on like tricks.
Impressive.
Yeah,
Impressive,
it's like tricks and things that are like, they're hard and but when I go to tell people, this actually happened at my grandma's nursing home. And she's so cute, but that was actually a thing where just like, wow, my grandma's not judging me for this. It's like amazing, So we're in her like nursing home.
You showed her the video?
Yeah. Oh, she's seen tons of them. She's so proud of me. And it's like, amazing that, however, she's seen what I've showed her. She hasn't seen the ones where I'm like, okay, I do like the heels in this type of dancing, but like, it's, anyway,
sexier,
I was, it's sexier, but even that, like, I mean, I don't see, the weird thing is that I don't even find shame in stripping if you're okay with it, as in within a person. Like the nicest people I've ever met like have been strippers, and it's weird because we're judging the women for doing it. It's like, no, we should be judging the men for doing it, you know what I mean? But like, or neither. We should just let people do what they want to do, and be like, this isn't like our business to be like, oh well, she's a whatever, But yeah, my grandma at the nursing home, she's like, this is my grand, she's a pole dancer. And like the guy's like, she's a stripper. And he was like hard of hearing too. So
he said stripper.
Yeah. So she's a stripper.
This nice girl's a stripper. What?
You hear this, Bill?
And then that's when I have to bring the phone out, be like, no, sir. Like, but I was like, yeah, but it's.
He's like, yeah, bring the phone up. Let's see it.
Let's have.
You're like, no, let me show you. He's like, oh, yeah, come on.
I'm gonna need proof. Oh God.
Actually, one of my favorite videos I saw on the internet though was actually a nursing home where a girl that I think was a stripper took a pull in, and then like all the older people were like getting on it, and they were stoked, and it was like. No judgment there. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there is obviously like
I bet they know how to have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're old. They're like, fuck it. Like,
yeah, exactly. I don't care.
Also, you gotta
they
be
feel
careful,
how you probably should feel, you know? Like, and they're probably also like, if I could do that, I would.
Yeah.
Like,
I kind of think about it.
you know, because physically it's crazy impressive.
If they fall and break a hip, like they could break a hip, you know? They could be
like
down
stairs
for
are
the count.
dangerous for them, you know?
Right.
Like, they need poles as railings. But like there is like a, you know, clearly a sexy like provocativeness to any pole dancing, or is it ever like right?
No,
every version of it is kind of
no way.
Sensual.
There is no like especially with a lot of like static poles. So there's two types of poles. There's the spinning ones, and then there's ones that are static. However, strip clubs have both, but there's certain like there's tricks that you can do on static and spin, you know, separated. There is static that is quite clearly gymnastics, and I think that is the thing. Is it is, you know, as you said, like turning into a sport. Cirque du Soleil uses poles, but because it's in that setting, it doesn't quite like look.
Read is that?
Yeah, but
Right,
I
it's
definitely
gymnastics.
yeah,
That's
it's
a good
definitely.
point.
But then I have my mom's friend being like, I think even like wearing a leotard is still like showing too much skin if you're on a pole. And I was like, my brother was great. He was like, maybe they should wear burqas, Marianne. You know, and
Nice.
yeah, but I mean that's the thing though, you know, it's even no matter what, but that's judgment. Like people will find a flaw in it if they want to, you know, and that's.
So you don't like that judgment? You fear that judgment? What is it about that judgment you think that holds you back from like feeling comfortable?
I think it's being a mom too. Or it's just like I don't want people to think it's shameful, and I don't ever want her to feel ashamed of what I'm doing. And I have felt that, and I'm as the same thing with my mom. So it's mostly my family. But then when I think about it with my family, then I'm like, oh, then other people must be thinking like the same thing. Like, what is she doing? And then, like, you know. But also, they're haters. I should not care.
Sure, and I mean, it's no matter how much they do care, like, or I mean, in that moment where the lady's like judging you, like some old lady is saying, like, I'm judging you. How did that feel in that moment?
Younger,
is it
or younger?
Or younger?
You know what I mean? Because I have had it from. I have had comments made to me. I think that's where.
And how does that feel? Like, is that as bad or worse than like your fear of the judgment?
That's a good point. I don't really know. I mean, it's almost, as you're saying, it's like it's almost already happened to me. So why am I so afraid of it still? Right? Like, okay, like this is how it's gonna be out there. You know what I mean? Where like either people are gonna understand it or they're not, or you know, people will find.
Yeah. I like, just for me, like the expectation of it is worse than like when it happens. Like putting a song out, I'm like, oh, like, is this song good enough? You know, maybe people are gonna hate it. But if I ever show someone a song and they're like, Paul, your music sucks, or like I get a comment like, Paul, your music sucks.
Yeah.
That doesn't bother me at all. You know, so like, what am I even actually
Paul
afraid
genuinely
of?
laughs so
Yeah, I
much
love it. I love those
when people
comments,
write
you know?
nasty comments online.
Right. You're ready to fight.
Where
No,
I'm like,
I'm
oh
not
my
ready to
God.
fight. No, I just love it. It's just like tickles me to no end. Like,
Well, but I think the other thing is like that's caring. That's also like that's putting in an effort to something. So maybe it's almost like take it as a compliment too. And whether like somebody's saying it that like, oh my God, that's amazing, or they're like, oh my God, it's like, oh, well, it's still ruffling your feathers. So I'm still like impacting
yeah, and you checked it out,
right?
which I do appreciate,
Yeah.
you know. But even if Christine was like, I don't like this song, that wouldn't hurt me, you know. But for some reason, like before it happens, I'm afraid of it. You know, like I'm afraid to put out a song that's bad, even though if someone thinks the song is bad, it doesn't actually bother me in the moment.
Yeah.
Like the expectation of it is scarier than it happening.
I think that's true with so much.
Yeah, I think it is.
Like the same with public speaking, you know, like you get through it, but every time before it seems like you'll never survive.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah. I mean, I think true, the difference slightly when it comes to being sexual in any sort of way, it's like then that where like, you know, people may see that as being like, oh, she's a slut, or she's like
she's
this.
a hooter.
Yeah, because she's comfortable feeling. And I think that is my thing with pole too. It's just like it's like I don't do it for men. You know what I mean? I do it for myself. I do it to love myself, and that is like
it's like your sanity. You love it.
Yeah, and it's
I guess that's just, you know, it's a bit. It's probably more than most hobbies. You have to like swallow down the commentary, but it brings you so much joy. So
the pole
that's
itself
what you
is
should focus
so
on.
stigmatized. Because if someone's like, I'm a dancer. If someone, if like, you know, a kid at school, their mom is a professional dancer, backup dancer for J-Lo, and they're doing
the NBA.
super like sexy moves all the time. Like that's totally respectable. Something about a pole being involved, suddenly, it's like a problem. And it's looked down upon.
Yes, I think that's the thing, the looking down upon. Yeah, it's like, because you can't say that people don't look down on it. They do. You know what I mean? Like that's the hard part. It's fighting through your own issues of whether you care what these people think or not. But that's so hard, you know? To just be like, I don't care anything.
But I think most people don't care. Most people, I think, respect the pole more and more.
I do think it's changing.
You gotta respect the pole, folks.
You gotta respect the pole.
Respect the pole.
Let's go on a respect the pole campaign.
I think everyone should try pole dancing because it is so fucking hard. You'll respect the pole.
So hard. I think that is a great point, especially, you know, when you're looking at dancers in clubs too, where you're just like, I mean, I was always fascinated. I used to go to strip clubs, like, you know, with friends and stuff, and I'd be like, this is so cool. I was like, this is, you know, great, and this is fun. Either it spins or it doesn't, but it's like, I was also always into dance, but to have something even more than, you know, like the girls looking hot, but like being able to use something to hold yourself, to be able to spin, to, you know what I mean? Having some sort of thing that like, you feel safer because you have this support thing to like fall in or like whatever. You could not, I mean, a lot of dance, you still can't do the type of dance that you can on a pole because you get to float. It's a form of flying too, where you're like up high on something.
This little person wants to be up high is what I'm hearing.
Oh, absolutely. I think all 5'4".
It's like the truck, the pole, lift. You gotta get up there.
I'm like 5'3", almost 5'4", and I'm, you know, I will always be like, I'm 5'4". No, I'm so 5'3". Like, I want to be.
But on the pole, you're 7 feet tall.
Absolutely. You know? Oh, I can get higher than that. And I've never been afraid of heights, too, for that reason, where I feel like the higher I got, I was like, the more excited I got. I was like, this is awesome. It's so high.
That's cool.
Anything that makes you scrunch and crunch your teeth like that, I think is a good thing to follow.
There's like a real physics to it, too. Like knowing like, if like, I can hook my foot like this and like I can lean out my whole body all the way. As long as I'm hooked in like that, like, I'm good. Like I think most people wouldn't even know where to hook or like how to do it to even get it, let alone have the core strength to pull
and
it
the
off.
arm strength and the leg strength.
All the strength.
Yeah, the and a big thing when they, you know, when you're teaching pole or taking a class, they talk about like points of contact. And that's like a big thing being, you know, because when you watch things,
like
sometimes you're like, how is she doing that? Like, you know, it's like, okay, well, your foot needs to be contacted at like this point, and then you can lean out and it looks like you're floating in midair, you know, however it works.
Have you ever just fallen?
Oh, absolutely. That's I need to post more fail videos because there's like people love those. Like I had one to the let the bodies hit the floor. It was so good because it was, and I've seen some great ones, but yeah, I have fallen quite a bit. I think I'm very cat-like in a way though, where it's just like I know how to, because part of it is like knowing how to fall well.
Mm-hmm.
Where you're like, I am gonna hit the ground no matter what. I just need to figure out how I'm gonna do it or how to be like relaxed enough. But yeah, it's never. The funny is like I've gotten a sore shoulder. That's not true. But the majority of times I've injured myself, you know, when I'm doing these crazy things, not once. And then I'm like walking in my house and I kick my table and I break my toe. And I'm like, how did that?
Sure.
Yeah.
So between the static pole and the spinning pole, what can you do on a static pole that you can't do on a spinning pole?
So much. I mean, the biggest that's really cool is, you can do them on a spinning as well, but it's different. But you throw your body weight around it instead of, spinning on it. And you can do a lot of like one-handed things on a spinning pole, but it's a lot harder. But if you think about being on a static, you can like grab here, throw yourself, and then catch yourself with this.
You control your movement.
Yes.
On the spinning pole, you have no control of the movement. You're just going.
Yeah, and like heels, adding heels, before I was like trying to explain to my mom, I'm like, the heels are not just for the look. The heels are a tool. Those toes are something that can help you spin, that you can push off, because they're like foot guards and they're high. And a lot of static stuff I love is with heels. So you can like, when you're throwing your weight, and then you can like spin on this heel to throw you around another direction, which is a lot harder, I would say, on like a spin than so I'm talking about static with heels. I really like, you can do both, but like I think you can really use your heels to do things to throw your weight around the pole with.
Why the heel versus just like a shoe? What would be the difference?
So I mean, it's almost
like the attraction thing.
Because the heel is like plastic.
No. I mean, it's so the way they're built. They have like if you've ever looked at like a stripper shoe.
Yeah, like a clear.
Pleasers. Yeah, those ones.
They're called pleasers.
There's pleasers. There's a lot of different brands. I have pleasers and Hella heels. Hella heels are, to me, I feel like mine are like armor though. They're like big, huge boots that have knee pads in them. So that's another thing. It's if you have these tricks you can do where you can land on your knees. However, you can use the heel to fake landing on your knees. So you hit like the toe, and then you can kind of fake.
And it's like a steel. It's like a steel toe, basically. It's like a.
It's not steel. It's plastic.
Right, but it's hard.
It's hard. Yes, exactly. It's hard. There's weights in them. So when you're doing like when you watch like women do like the leg waves and things like that, those weights help you do that and make it like slower, and they start to really help. That's the other thing. And you ever want a super leg core workout? That is the thing. Even just like think about like, you're lifting your leg up and down that you would do in like an exercise class, but you're adding a ton of weight in there.
That's good for the inside of those thighs.
Oh, so one of my favorite teachers, stripper, coolest girl I ever met, totally like one of the coolest girls I've ever met, had her shit totally straight, and she would teach us these incredible things that were like very slow. It's like just like moving your leg and heels, but she's teaching you how to do it very. It's like swimming when you look at it. It's very. You're like, whoa, like you don't even notice how hard it is.
Right, just so much control.
Yes, absolute control, and you can almost like see some girls like make their legs look like spaghetti or something like that, like the
noodles.
way that they're doing, like noodles. No, it's like noodles in a way. But by the time I got out of that class, like my core on fire, like never been so sore in my core, and like she's like, you're just leg like this. It was,
Sounds brutal.
But it's amazing. You're having fun too. You're looking at your glittery heels, being like, look at these glittery heels. Like I'm like waving my legs with, and now I'm worked out for an hour and a half. It's fantastic.
Is it stretching too? Like, it's almost like yoga on a pole. Like when you're holding a pose, you're like, oh, that's such a good stretch in my shoulder.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah. And any like normally like someone who does yoga or dance or ballet, jazz, whatever, they're gonna have like a slightly an easier chance pole dancing. I have a background in dance. I danced from when I was 3 to 18 when I was serious about it, and then stopped until I started doing pole. But someone who has like a yoga background would do well because they have a lot of core strength. They have a lot of holding strength. Stuff like that really helps. The other thing is you can always, like ballet dancers, It's annoying how good they are in the pole. Like, of course, you know, they already have the core. They're already, you know, their feet
They're, like,
are perfect. Yes. Graceful. Absolutely.
Yeah.
They point their toes. It's like the biggest thing in pole that, you know, you conquer is because, as you were saying, it's like sometimes you know, there's things you do where you have to stick with your foot in order to like hold on to the pole. But like, you want to keep those toes as pointed as possible. But when you're freaking out in the air, you think that foot's going to help you. If you wrap, you're like, I'm holding, it's not even touching it, but you're like, this is helping. But ballet dancers, they have that down. It's just like habits that you know, have to.
It's definitely an artistry.
Yeah, should we get a couple poles? So
I think you should.
jacked?
No, you're gonna have your own studio, and we'll come see you.
That is the plan. That's
the plan.
That is the end plan.
Your show, when we saw you the one time, it was like really impressive.
Yeah,
like,
I love
you're
that.
very graceful, and like
Thank you.
we were just like, God, she's like the strongest person in the world. Like I could not to just like hold onto the pole, like you know, like six inches above the ground. I'd be like, oh, just like shaking. Like I have no hold on it. I would just like squeak, like just squeak down. I don't know. It was crazy impressive.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So how long have you been doing it? And what was like your first, you started just with a class? Like,
I started with a class in Bisbee. I was always fascinated by it, as I said, but like I wasn't about to go to the strip club. So when it started coming out that it was an exercise, I was like, sign me up. Like I was, you know, about it.
how long ago?
4 years, 5 years.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
I
I would have thought longer based on.
I'm a monkey, though.
Distance.
I grew up climbing trees, and I have a trampoline. I love to do backflips on the trampoline, and so
Okay.
I have
And the dance.
Yeah, like in
experience.
active, and I've always been. I think that, you know, like pole also drew me because I'm like, you can flip off this thing too. You can like pull yourself into, you know. I was like, this is great. I get to fly in the air, kind of. And like a combination with like rock climbing and dance and all these things. It's like pole kind of like, you know, puts those things.
Wow. You
together.
think pole dancing would ever be in the Olympics?
They're trying to get it in there, and I
It
hope
should
they
be.
do. Oh,
if
absolutely.
fucking breakdancing
Yep.
can be,
Yeah,
like
that's-
pole dancing fucking better be.
Way more too.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, and the things that, you know, stuff that
Gladiator
that also I feel like it is endless. Like the
Yeah.
the things that you could do are endless.
And it
you
would really
know?
push the sport, like to
Yeah.
have people like competing on a world stage like that.
Yeah.
Like
There's
people
a
would get just so much better
womanizing
so quickly,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, and it's and if you think about it, that's the thing. It's gymnastics, it's ballet, it's all these things. It's the amazing thing about pole, because gymnastics already has poles, but they're bars. They're just a different
Right.
direction. So, which to me, it's also like, doesn't it make more sense that like this would be harder? Mm-hmm. But that's not also true when you see those girls like flip all the way around. You're like, you're doing like a complete handstand over yourself.
Yeah,
and-
that's also crazy and
Yeah,
impressive.
those bars are nuts.
But I mean, people
are
would
those,
tune in for the
unparallel-
pole dancing
Yeah.
portion, you know?
Parallel bars? What the hell?
Parallel bars.
Parallel bars?
Yeah.
I can't wait to see like the
Parallel
different
bars.
country with the like sparkly outfits they would have for pole.
Yeah, all the outfits would be top notch.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope so.
They would need to be.
But it'd be like their flag, but bedazzled, right? Mm-hmm. Like sparkly, and the
Fringe.
shoes.
There would be fringe.
Oh, the shoes. The shoes would be a whole.
See, I don't know with that. I don't think that would the Olympics allow the shoes. That's the problem. That's
Yeah.
that's
But
what
the
I
shoes
think.
are part of the sport.
That's what I
They're
mean.
not just
Exactly.
aesthetic. Which there
Exactly.
are sports where there are things that are purely
Yeah.
aesthetic. You know, like
Yeah.
jockeys wear like a certain outfit uniform. Like it's not to make them go faster. Like
Or like, well, it's like soccer shoes.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Whatever.
cleats.
Like
They
it's
need
with
their
like
cleats.
cleats. They need their cleats. So
yeah, they need their
Yeah.
cleats.
I mean, so that is where I wonder though. It's like I think it could get into the Olympics as far as like I think it would be. Well, hopefully, I hope they include the sparkles but we also like we need to respect the history of it. There's like how can we like also be like, hey, this is like you know, there's
Appropriation is how.
yeah, or it's like how can we just like respect them for what they do and whoever for like, you know, as long as they're not like killing people or like doing
Yeah.
you know something really bad.
agree.
Even the
Hurting
men that
people.
go there, why do we have to be like? Why is it?
Shocking at this
Yeah,
point.
at
Because
this
it's
point.
a tale as old as time.
Yeah,
You know? People are
Yeah.
lonely and they want some way to connect with other people and
Well, and also like being sexy.
admire it. And
Being sexy is not a negative thing to be. Like, and that's like the stigma. It's like, oh, you're being sexy. Like,
Yeah.
ugh. Like, why are you being like attractive to people? You know,
Yeah,
it's
well,
like
like,
being
what's so
sexy is
wrong
not
with that?
bad.
Yeah.
But if you're like a Victoria's Secret model, that's not looked down upon nearly as much as pole, even like a
Exactly.
pole class, like pole dancing, not just stripping, but just pole dancing. Like,
Yeah.
and it's very sexy and attractive. Like,
And they're half naked and like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like that's, and also to me, I'm like, pole dancers are actually like doing something that are very like athletic where it's like, yeah, like
yeah, the Victoria's Secret model is just
they're
like,
just walking the run. I mean,
it's just a genetic lottery that they won.
That's true, but also like there's something to be said
skill.
about those walks, and I mean it's dance, same thing, but it is also like they train them to walk a certain way. You
yeah,
know?
it's performance
Yeah, yeah.
based. But
Yeah, it's but
You're right. Even if I
however-
woke up in their body, I don't think I would do it as good as they do it. There's a skill
you
involved.
just need you need some training, but
oh, you
it's-
could do it, honey.
Yeah,
Well, I could
but
do it.
that's such a good point. That like, why is it that something like that where it's like lingerie? It's like the same. It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
This was in catalogs on my
know?
doorstep. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really like polarized, or what's the jarring
Yeah.
thing we do, right? That like women should be sexy, but also not be sexy at the same time. It's like, what do you do with that?
I think the thing
Yeah,
is
it's
people
just a
think that
weird line.
it's also because people have. I think women have like sometimes had to do it for the fact that they needed to like get by, but it's like it's not necessarily not enjoyable for women as well. Like I've known women who did strip that were like, I'm okay with this, and the what like what I'm
Yeah.
it's like they're okay with it. And
like,
I think
there's worse ways to make a living.
Yeah,
you know?
100%,
Like,
and
would
I
you
think-
rather do this or like have a cubicle job, like selling insurance? Like, they'd
Exactly.
probably rather dance on a pole. Like,
yeah. Yeah, and it's and we don't need to. I think because I think that's what I've always heard to like like that they're almost like feeling sorry for it's like oh she has to do that. It's like why are we even looking at it like that? Like no, like she doesn't. Maybe sometimes has to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
but, like,
want people
Yeah,
to
but-
be forced into it, but
Yeah.
for like lack of other opportunity. But I also am happy to like obviously.
But is the
I'm
guy
sure people
selling-
choose to do it and do it happily? Like
Is the guy selling like air conditioner units not doing it because he has to do that? Like,
Yeah.
is that
No.
that's not his favorite thing to do. He's doing it because he has to do it. And like, there's a sad thing about us having to work,
Yeah.
even though we don't want to, but like, he has to do it. That's why he's doing it, because he has to. Like, it is sad that he has to do that. Like, it's sad we have to work to make a
it
living.
is, we
but
should
like,
be able to do whatever we
what's
want.
the difference between being a dancer or selling or working in a cubicle selling air conditioner units or whatever? Like,
yeah. Yeah.
people I think associate it with prostitution. Like,
That's the other
and
thing. Yeah. Well, and I've heard my brother.
personally,
Yeah,
I think prostitution should be legal.
I agree with you.
I'm thinking about it as I say it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it should not be a crime, and it should be like a regulated industry,
Yeah.
just like any. But it get like stripping, especially, gets lumped in as prostitution,
Yeah.
whereas backup dancer, for some reason, gets put. It's like there's like a line,
Yeah.
where it's like prostitution and like also pole dancing will be on that
Yeah,
side.
no, on that
and
list
then
too.
everything
Like-
else in the
and
world
their shoes and
goes
whatever.
on the
Yeah,
other
yeah,
side.
yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's
weird. Even people being like, God, Megan Fox is so hot or whatever. Like, she's on this side. She's not on the like
Yeah.
prostitute side.
No,
It's weird.
no.
Like, what
that's-
is the line?
Where is the line?
I don't get it.
Also, like I feel like it. I mean, because I think, there's these websites and stuff that are like sugar daddies or like whatever. It's like, what's the difference with a lot of that and like the online and what they're doing?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same.
Yeah, selling your underwear.
But
is
it's
that
also like-
is that
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm wondering. It's like okay, like to somebody who would, but it's somebody who's gonna judge like an OnlyFans and who's gonna judge pole dancing are the same person. You know what I mean?
I
Like
would agree.
either one, I
Yeah.
don't care. Or I'm like, that's cool, dope. Wait, you made what? Oh, that's wonderful. We should be happy. I think, though, it's like I have heard men too in a way, and I think that's what's really bothered me. Where it's like I've heard it, being like talked down on her. Oh, well, like she's a stripper, almost like she's showing herself to all these people, or feeling like because she's doing that, she's lower. It is, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's totally
yeah,
stigmatized.
it's stigmatized. Like that's the other I want to take it away for them, I guess, too, where I'm just like, I don't want to be like, hey, I'm a pole dancer and I, but by the way, like, I don't do this. I'm like, yeah, like, it doesn't even matter. Even if I did, I wouldn't, you know what I mean? Or it's like, I don't
You feel
you.
the need to say, I'm not a stripper. I'm a pole dancer.
Yes, exactly. The fact that I have to like specify, but also make it seem like somehow they're less when they're not. Like, I mean, also it's like, I could never. I would end up in fights. I think that's the problem. I have a bad attitude. So like, it's like, I grew up with too many brothers.
That could be successful too with a certain clientele.
Somebody told me that. They were like, they might actually really like it if you hit them.
Yeah, it's just like border doms shit,
just like, oh my God. Like, yeah, and also like
that's
with
unfortunate.
Legalizing like prostitution or OnlyFans or these different things, people say like it has a risk of being exploitative. Like these women could be exploited, but is Amazon not exploiting its workers? Like
100%.
Is every worker not an exploited human? Like every industry exploits people.
Oh my God, it's so funny that you're saying this too, because like here's a situation. Like I had a company that I used to work for, and they have all my pictures, and they're on their website, and I actually asked for my pictures to be taken off this website for like a very personal reason to me, that I was like, please take these off. I can't get them off. They're not even naked. And it's like, like unless I went through like, some sort of lawsuit, which I don't think I could win because I was paid hourly when I worked with this person. So it's like, I think therefore they have rights to the pictures. But I cannot get those taken down. That's like a personal thing. So like, where's that? And then like, with, where was I going with this? I had a link.
You know what you do?
What?
Say the N-word publicly. You'll get canceled, and they'll be like, "We got to take these photos."
That's
down.
actually a great idea. That's actually a great idea.
We don't want her to be the face of our business.
That's true. That's true. So I got to kick up a bigger.
Yeah.
You have to destroy your reputation.
It'll be taken down
Intensely, and they'll take it right down.
To save your reputation.
Exactly. To save your reputation.
To save your reputation.
It actually would not really work out.
I had something though that was like, relating to like an OnlyFans or like something. I can't remember. Anyway. But you're right. I should do that. That's a great idea.
I mean, then you have other reputation issues to deal with, I suppose. Don't do it. Christine is... Oh, reputation. Yeah.
It's like, I mean, you know what? I accidentally say the R word, unfortunately, way too much. Because I just grew up with my brothers who just referred to it as everything. And every time you say that word, it's like you're not actually like meaning, anything. But
yeah, we grew up in the 90s. We're not
exactly. So like, we're not bad people. Yeah. So...
A good guy. That's what my nephew said once. It was so dang cute. My sister like kind of profoundly. My sister was like kind of lost her cool and like yelled at him a little bit about something, and so then she was going up to him and apologizing. This is his aunt, not his mom, and he's just like sitting there eating his cereal, still just like so calm, and then he finally just looks at her and was like, "Well, I'm not a bad guy." I'm not a bad guy. And it just like keeps eating his cereal.
I'm a good guy.
I'm a good guy.
And she's like, you are a good guy. You're right. And so we use that. That's like our mantra. Anytime it's like, oh shit,
I fucked up.
Damn, I was kind of being selfish, or I did, and you just go like, I'm not a bad guy though. Like I'm a good guy.
Yeah.
I'm a good guy.
Yeah.
We say the R word sometimes. We're not bad. We're not bad people.
I didn't mean to.
No, it's okay. Yeah, I know. That one slips a lot, and I've like shocked people, and I'm like, I'm sorry.
I mean, there's a time and place.
You can phase it out.
I can phase it out, but it was funny. I did date a guy that broke up with me. That when I couldn't get it out. You know what I mean? He's like, you cannot keep saying this, and I was like, I'm so sorry. So
he broke up with you over that?
Oh, absolutely. It was like definitely like because he had some friends that were like really close to him, and like their child was, mentally disabled. But I was like, I would never call that child that word, like ever. You know what I mean? It's. I was like, I'm not, but anyway. Yeah. But then I went home and told my brothers, and they're like, yeah, that guy's. I was like, if they would have gotten a hold of him, it would have been really bad. You know what I mean? They're like, he
would have never made it.
No, they would have used all the other ones too.
Test.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like they were like, yeah, we were gonna tear him apart. So
wait, you have the 3 brothers and 1 sister.
2 brothers.
2 brothers.
2 brothers, 2 sisters, 4 boys that I grew up next door to. The day boys who were so ruthless. Their mom worked all the time, and they ran they did whatever they wanted. They wouldn't listen to anyone, you know.
Your brothers.
No,
The
my
neighbors.
neighbors.
The neighbors who were best friends with my brother. So
Okay.
my brother had
Trouble.
the day boys.
Capital
The
T.
day boy.
The day boys.
Oh,
But actually,
you don't want to meet the night boys.
well, the funny thing is then
They
they,
get
you know,
locked up when the sun goes down.
speaking of, like, so they would use, you know, gay all the time, you know, be like, oh, God, that's gay. Like, you know, and it would be, you know, like, oh, I got a gay headache. So my dad just started calling them the gay boys, which they hated. They were like, Dave, like, why are you calling this? He's like, well, it's just like, it's all you guys.
That's all he's saying.
Yeah. But yeah.
Need
they
a few
were-
more adjectives.
Yeah, they didn't have many. Although they were like athletes, but like they were all like incredible skaters. Like they probably all could have like, you know, taken that some sort of way.
Skateboarders?
Yeah, one of them could walk on his
He was
hands
a
down the
skater
whole
He
street
said, see you
Say.
later.
on his
boy."
hands. You know what I mean? But it was anything. Then they tried like BMX thing. They were good at that. It was kind of annoying. I was like, you guys just like a good anything? Okay, you're good at everything. Okay. That's you know.
That's good, though. That fuels a rivalry.
Yeah, but they were ruthless.
Well, so what are the gay boys doing nowadays?
You know, so two of them, they have a landscaping business. Yeah.
Gay landscaping company.
Exactly.
I wonder what that would entail.
It's actually, well, yeah.
Come trim your bush.
Really well.
Real nice.
I feel like really polished landscaping, you know? Like very
Everything looks like Palm
well
Springs.
maintained. Exactly.
Yeah, there's like a flamingo in
Well-groomed.
every yard.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think, you know, well, it's in Phoenix and it's in Prescott, but he's doing really well. That's Bear, who's the youngest one.
Of course it is. Bear.
Bear, Jerry, Chris, Bud.
No.
Yes. That's
Bud.
real.
How did Bud and
Bud's
Bear
on the birth
skip in?
certificate.
Yeah, well, Chris is the oldest. Bud is on this birth certificate.
Same with Bear.
Yeah, same with Bear. Jerry, Bear.
I know
Bear
a
was
Fox.
the youngest.
I knew a kid that was named Fox.
And
As
Bear,
well, he ate spaghetti out of a Ziploc bag one time. I'll never forget it. He was a bass player. We played a gig. We were the house band for like a fashion show. Actually, he shows up to this thing. He's like, "All right, so what time we playing?" And he's got just a Ziploc bag of spaghetti that he made, and he's just eating it with a fork.
Amazing.
Yeah,
You gotta eat.
Fox. That's a fox for you.
Foxes
Yeah.
gotta eat.
That's right.
yeah, Bear also, he was like 5 years old with a six-pack. It was crazy. Like his stomach was unbelievable and a Kool-Aid mustache.
Sick.
So bright, yeah.
I bet they'd be good
Yeah.
pole dancers.
Oh, 100%. Like they would probably be able to like backflip off
Yeah.
it and do
From
things
one
that
pole to
was like.
do people ever jump from one pole to the other?
Yeah, and that's I think with like, you know, what you really see, because there's also something that's called like a Chinese something pole. I should know this. Kelsey that is at Circus Sanctuary has one where it's like a Chinese something pole, and it's like it's different. It has like different fabric on it or whatever, but it's still a pole. But I think the other thing is that they would jump from one to the other, and I believe that's in Cirque du Soleil too.
They like,
They're like-
almost flip and like grab the
Yeah,
thing. I
and
feel like I saw
grab
that
the
on
other-
Instagram or something.
Yeah, and, like,
they like
go
squirrel
between the
jump
two.
from one to the other.
Yeah, and then in pole competitions, because they have the ones that will be in the Olympics, hopefully, is one static and one spin, so that you can switch between the two. You can do your static tricks, and then you can do like your spin tricks and use both.
Cool.
Yeah.
How about the ring? You ever
The
fuck with the ring?
Lyra, I love the
The
ring.
Lyra.
Yeah,
I didn't know
the
it had a name like that.
Yeah, I know, and yeah, I don't do it as much as I would like to. But I did try this thing out too. It's called a lollipop, and it's a pole that has a ring on the top of it that's metal, and then it spins.
Oh.
So kind of like what you guys saw with the stage pole, it looks like that, but it has a ring on it, so you can do the type of like
I feel like
Lyra.
I've seen some that look like martini glasses, and then they sit in them, and they like
Yeah.
look like they're a little in a cocktail.
Yeah, but and then the ring, yeah, you can kind of go between, but just the straight ring is really cool. That has its own thing of tricks, and also then you avoid all the stigma altogether if you're in a ring.
Yeah,
You
then
know
you're
what I mean?
like
You're an,
acrobatic.
you're an aerialist. You're an
Aerialist, that's the word,
which,
yeah.
Which I do use now, which I did learn that after like the incidents at the nursing home where I had to explain.
Yeah, you're an aerial dancer.
Explain to
Yeah, I know.
80-year-olds. You're
Yeah.
just like, she said what? Listen,
You're
I'm an
strict.
She's an
aerialist.
areola, what?
Exactly.
Damn it, Bob. Yeah, you are an aerialist.
Yeah.
I think you could, right? That's like the ribbons,
silks.
or
The silks,
Silks,
yeah.
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 My good friend of mine,
Those are
Aurelia,
fun.
does the phlegm chin. You guys see phlegm chin? Is the
I never met him.
Flom Chen, yes you
Yeah,
do.
Who's
Paul
Flom
Weir
Chen?
and Nadia, they are Flom Chen, the nonprofit
Oh, they are Flom
behind
Chen.
All Souls Procession.
Okay.
They
Flom
are
Chen.
Flom Chen.
yeah.
I like the name. Flom
Well,
Chen.
and they always do really cool, like out there type of costumes and dancing. And actually, I'm excited because Aurelia, my friend who's in that, is now getting into pole, and I kind of can't wait till she messes with it. She's also like ballerina, superhuman, can balance
Aurelia,
on her.
the aerialist.
She gave me, I wrote down her name too. She makes music. We got to check out. She's like in a folksy.
There is nothing that
Aurelia?
she is like.
Yeah.
She's superwoman. She like can.
Cool.
She sews all of her own costumes. She sings. She plays the. Why am I the? No.
Banjo.
The keyboard,
The
and
Guitar.
the accordion.
Harp.
The accordion.
The
Right?
accordion.
No,
Yeah.
The accordion. Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah, which is so hard. I mean, even when you look at it, but
She's
yeah.
ripped.
She is a monkey. She is a superhuman.
She's like actually not built like a.
No, she's and she's
Regular
tiny. She's,
human.
Yeah, she's like 5, or I think she's 4'11", but she is like all of her is
Really
solid.
heavy on the upper body strength.
Oh, all of it.
Gotta be.
Like, yeah,
Wow.
yeah, but it was almost annoying too. It's like I like show her something on pole, and I was like, "Why are you that?
Why can you pick it up
Why
right
can
now?
She can just do anything." Yeah.
Took me 3 years to do that one.
Yeah.
The smaller you are, I would assume you have an advantage for
better.
something like that, though, right? Like it's less. I mean, lower center of gravity, less like way out.
Yeah, you're probably right. Although I don't know if it matters too much. There's a girl that I watched in, I think she's from Brazil, and she's a pole dancer I follow, and she's like tall. You can tell she's really tall, and
She was great.
yeah, it doesn't affect her. There's another girl that I know on Instagram that's like these ridiculous legs, and she uses them to her advantage. But I mean, you might be
But
right.
like most Olympic gymnasts are
tiny.
are small.
Yep,
Yeah.
you're right. So
Sure.
yeah, there's probably something to be said about that.
So I wonder if pole dancing goes to the Olympics and gets like that competitive.
It's true. If it's
How tall is everyone going to be on that metal pole?
And then you'll be like,
No.
I'm 5'3", I made it.
I'm the tallest girl here.
No, yeah.
They're like, Jesus, fucking, where's your beanstalk? They're like making fun of you for being so tall.
I mean, I think it is funny though. It's like the. Do I really like it just because I can climb up on it and get tall?
It's like, why, who cares why men like sports cars? You
Yeah.
know? Is it that they have a small dick or do they just love it? you know?
It's true. It's true.
Doesn't
The big
matter.
trucks, but then there's me. I have a huge truck. I like being taller.
Yeah.
I wonder, but that's immediately what I think when I see a big truck. Is I think it's a small dick, but maybe that's not true. It's probably just like the big truck.
It can't be true for all of them. I would
Can't be
think.
true for all of them. That's a good point.
No.
But a stereotype for sure. Well, I think about it more with like the sports cars, just people, the guys that are like really forking out cash for a convertible,
Yeah.
the showboaty cars.
Yeah, it's the showboating.
I think about it less than the truck. 'cause, like,
But the showboatiness just reads insecure.
Totally.
So it's like whether it's a big
That's the
truck.
connection.
A big truck doesn't necessarily read like, oh, that guy's insecure. But there is a certain
Sometimes, some
You mean
trucks.
when
Something.
it starts to get
like with the
ridiculous
mufflers and
like,
all the things. I'm
the
like, dude,
loud-
what are you doing?
they're loud.
I hate
the
all
like
the
fire
ridiculous-
decal.
Yeah.
Like the tires that elevate you like 6 feet up above. I'm like, you're doing the most, It's bad enough to have a cool ass truck. Like you don't need to soup it out.
Yeah, but I don't know. If I
but what
if
if it's like
had
Hot
a
Wheels?
lot
Like
of
that was
money-
like a little kid. If they were into Hot Wheels, like that was a thing that like a
Right.
lot of little boys were into, and weren't
Yeah.
those monster trucks? Like weren't those
Yeah.
things like that? So it's like that's hard to say because you're like, well, I just like kind of like Barbie for me, or like I want to wear the pink dresses and the shoes and like whatever, like
Yeah.
and then be like, well, I just want to make my monster truck that I had when I was a kid, and it was huge, and it had these spinning stupid tire or like whatever they are. I actually, sometimes I'll appreciate it when a thing is hurting my ears. So I can't.
Yeah, I hate the mufflers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little much.
Yeah, but wanting to make it.
I don't
But
know.
yeah, sometimes
like,
a truck
trucks
is
get
just a
so
truck.
bright,
Yeah.
and then the lights are like flashing into
Yep.
your mirrors at night so badly. I'm like, oh, this
Yeah, I
is
don't
so
like that.
annoying. It's
Yeah.
annoying.
It's true. It's very
Interfering with my peace, so they're no longer not hurting anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you had unlimited money and you were buying a truck, what would your truck look like? Would it
It
look
would
like
be
you have a
like-
small penis?
No, it'd be stealthy AF. You know, it would have like, it'd be
How-
decked out, but on the inside, it wouldn't be like
Oh, so it would look kind of
abnormally
rugged.
large or.
It'd just be a regular old truck.
It'd just be a regular truck with like a solid engine and just anything I needed. Maybe a little center console with a little cooling in it, little refrigeration in case I buy ice cream on a
So
hot
the indoor flex.
summer day. The tricks and
You'd
things
pimp
on the
your
inside.
ride
I'd pimp
on
my
the inside.
ride on the inside where it counts, you know?
It's what's on the inside
So
that counts.
it's what's on the inside that counts. It's what's under the hood, ultimately.
Yeah, but I mean, that's true. But then I'm thinking about my Bronco. I'm like, it would have to be super shiny and like some ridiculous color. Not ridiculous, but like red or like it's gonna be like catching eyes. You know,
It's going to
like,
be catching eyes.
Yeah,
You know,
I
Hans
don't
has an orange one.
Of course he does.
It's
No,
an
I
eye
did not
catcher.
know that.
It is
See,
an
it's
eye catcher.
Yeah.
It'll catch eyes. Yeah.
It's fun to get
Sometimes-
in it and just
also, like if you and your friends are like
Ever
really into
in,
cars
yeah.
and stuff, you're like, dude, I'm fucking lifting this thing.
Yeah.
Like, Brian is gonna freak out when he
Yeah,
sees this
yeah.
fucking truck. You know, like
Yeah.
sometimes there's just that too.
Yeah, it's sometimes the nerding out on things, and actually that's true. It's like
So you guys want me to put my judgment aside?
I'm
Yeah,
saying sometimes a
it's
truck
wild.
is just a truck. Sometimes a Ferrari is just a Ferrari. Sometimes it's a guy with a small penis who hates his family.
Thank you. Okay, cool.
And it has to go through a midlife crisis. And this is the
I
route
hear
he
you.
chose.
I hear you.
Or it's a petite girl that just wants to be higher up
Yeah.
on the road.
Or it's a petite girl.
I guess
I think
we should all
anytime it's a
just stop
girl,
judging.
it's kind of
Yeah, I know it's out the window. You're like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
We
yeah,
get
it's
kind of-
like always
you know?
awesome.
Yeah.
There's no you never really, unless it's like bumper stickers that just say
Yeah.
stupid shit. That's when a girl
That's
can
one of my
go
number
bad.
one pet peeve is stickers on the cars.
Yeah, no, that's I did put one on my mom's car, which is funny. It was a bumper. It's a Waylon Jennings. It's what is it? Too stupid for New York, too ugly for LA, or too ugly for LA, too stupid for New York. Either
That's
way,
funny.
it was really funny and it was great. And that was the only bumper sticker I ever had that I put on my mom's car. And then she got all the compliments for it too. She's like, everyone loves this bumper sticker. But other than that, that was the only one I ever
Nice.
bought. I never
I have a lot of pet peeves, so it's not,
Yeah.
one I'll die on a cross on, but
But I feel like if you have one, that's cool, that's fine. But when you have like 25 or whatever bumper stickers, that's when
I know.
Yeah,
and
I
like
mean-
when the kids put them
Yeah.
on the back windows, have some self-respect.
Well, if you're in high school, I think have all the bumper stickers you want.
Okay, sure, I agree.
Or put
Just
them on
while we're
your
being
water
judgmental,
bottle.
if you're an
Yeah.
adult,
Don't do it.
I don't need to know how many people are in your family and like the size of everybody in
On a
relation to the
name,
other
it's like
people.
endangering your children,
But we are very judgmental people.
Oh, sure.
That's the truth.
You could.
Unfortunately-
We grew
No,
up in a very bubble, like a very particular bubble in the North Shore of Chicago. I feel like it's an interesting place. A lot of money, a lot of gossip mills, a lot of parent network is what we called the parent gossip. But I think that happens everywhere. But it felt very intense there.
So you're saying that's
You
why
know
we're
that-
so judgmental?
Exactly.
Because we
You
grew
can
up
take the
around
girl out of
judgmental
the-
people, or we grew up
It's just how we grew up.
judging shitty people?
We just grew up judging everything.
Yeah. Are
It's
you
an art
judgmental?
form. It's
Like,
an art form.
Not publicly on a public forum like a podcast, but like in your head or like, with your close friends.
Everybody judges everybody.
I think Christine knows this. The thing is like what I judge people for is being inconsiderate of other people. That is the most like judgmental like I become when like somebody is like really entitled and doesn't think and thinks that they're like above or they don't have to do something or something like that or like or
Like someone skips a line or something like that.
Yo.
like
Oh,
treating
don't you
or just
cut a
being
line.
rude, like when you don't. I judge you if you don't have manners, and I judge you if you think you're better than somebody else because I don't believe that anybody's better than anybody else. You know what I mean? Like, man.
I mean, if someone thinks they're better than everybody,
pictures of people that are
then
pieces of
they're
shit.
worse.
So
Yeah, no, well, it's almost like somebody like I'll run from people who see there's a judgmental side of me. People who think that there's some sort of like God or like whatever, like I am like this
Arrogance.
person. You should like arrogance. And same thing. I'm better than you, or I make more money, or like whatever. And then like this person is below. Like I don't believe in any of that. And that when people act like that,
dead camera.
Oh, dead. But when people act like that, I judge you. I like that is the thing. But like, I don't think I judge.
I think that's the right thing to judge people for.
Yeah, like then I will be like, definitely be judging. But like, no, I think that as long as you're not hurting someone, you know what I mean? As long as you're not like hurting someone, let people.
What about like a loud chewer?
No.
Okay.
I would tell them it was annoying.
it.
You know what I mean? Like that's probably.
See, I wouldn't tell them, but I would be like,
it would drive you crazy.
I'd be like, bro, this is this fucking loud chewer over here.
you never say that. I say it to you. You've like eaten
Oh my God,
in my ear, and
was I a
move.
loud chewer?
No, you're not a loud chewer.
Good.
You were like eating close to me on the couch once, and I had to move because I'm like I can't.
I'm chewing with my mouth closed.
I
though.
can't handle.
But then
chewing.
this is a couple thing. This is stupid. That's not like judging somebody though, because it's like that's like my parents. My dad chewed Nicorette for years, and I remember my mom just being like, "Dave, stop smacking." And she, like it was like she was like really losing it. Like,
Yeah.
I was just like, "Oh my god."
I don't like listening to chewing. And I am self-conscious of it. I try not to, like, God forbid you have to eat an apple in public and like those crunchy ass bites. Like,
But even
no,
with your mouth
thank you.
closed, because like as long as someone's eating with their lips closed, I'm not mad. It's the mouth open eaters.
I don't really care even if we're sitting across the table from each other, but if you're like
Once again,
sharing,
you're speaking of manners
right here.
You're
Manners.
also, like manners. I think manners actually, those are the people that I judge. It's like when you don't treat other people with respect, I don't like that.
There was
It
some
doesn't
rude guy
matter.
today, and I was like, wow, I think this might actually be the first time I've had a rude customer yet, which is shocking actually because I've been doing this a while now.
Rude how? What was his
He
name?
just like he came in and looked at the bouquet cart and was like, you guys sure have come a long way since your $45 bouquets. And I was like, oh, we could certainly make you something that size. And he's like, nope, it's okay. And like stormed out.
What? It's almost like it's like the Karen thing. You know what I mean? Where it's almost like, I'm going to be like this just to be like this. There was actually the other day, this lady was crossing the street and I had stopped and pulled my truck up and she like snubbed me and walked around. She was like, ugh, I don't even know why. And walked around. I rolled down the window. I said, have a nice day, Karen. But it was true. I was just like, why be a bitch? Why be a bitch?
You did
Yeah.
not say that to her.
Some
Did
people
you?
do think.
1,000% said that to her.
I love you.
I cannot hold my tongue sometimes. It actually is bad. It's like,
No, I like that.
was
I
like,
think
Something about the
respect
truck,
that.
as
Yeah.
soon as you step up there, you just
oh,
like,
it gives me
cackle.
power.
Yeah.
It gives me power.
She's drunk on power.
It's funny. Like as soon as it's a cruisy truck and it's nice to drive. I feel very safe in it too. Because there was a minute there I was driving to and from Prescott a lot, and I was in a little truck, and I think my dad doing that was just like, I'm worried about you. Take the big dog. Take the big dog.
Take the big dog.
Take the big dog.
I want you to have the big dog.
It'll keep you safe, And
I want to meet your dad now.
oh, he's awesome.
cool.
I wanted to introduce myself to him today. They were in the shop,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I gave him a wave, but he didn't come back to talk. So
See, I would be just like you. Like I don't
Yeah.
introduce myself to people.
it's Pam, right? Your mom?
Patty
I
and Dave.
called her Pam
That's the
today.
way.
I thought I got it right.
But like my mom was like,
Pam.
I called her Pam.
she wouldn't care.
So confidently called
She
her
wouldn't care.
Pam.
But
no.
Dad is
No.
actually the leader.
That bums me out.
He's one of those people. I feel like he's never judging other people. He's always like,
That's nice.
look,
That's good.
he's always looking for the how to fix it instead of like focusing on the it's like how to fix something. I wonder if he really doesn't like Trump supporters. He will definitely fight everyone, and I think he likes fighting. And he likes fighting about it.
A little dog.
I love it.
Yeah,
dog.
but other than that, he's like trying to avoid drama at all costs.
I think it's nice. I judge it in my head. I don't give people problem, and I don't like.
I clap back at my judgments. Ultimately it's really about what people do and how they treat other people. You know, it's not just about whatever thought pops up in your brain when you first see them. Yeah.
It's also being understanding that, although you were saying that it's different with you, but it's like people who are raised a certain way and like love their family or whatever, they're just raised to believe things because that's what they were taught. And that's another thing that you kind of got to be like, well, I could have grown up in that situation and then I would have been on that side not even knowing. Hopefully not, but
Stuff.
I grew up with smart parents. Some people did.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
Sure. No, like whoever I'm judging, like if I had their whole life, I would be them the exact same way that they are.
Yeah, I mean, because I have family members where it's like, people who are also like younger than me that I'm not about to like get in a fight with them and try to do that. And it's also like I think of their circumstances and how where they grew up, the way they grew up, and I was like, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
that's good. It's good to do.
Yeah.
I save my snottiest comments and judgment for Paul. So
yeah, we just kind of heckle and then we talk shit.
Yeah, talking shit's like
gotta
one of the
get it
funniest
out,
things
but-
ever.
it's very easy for me to be genuinely nice to people and not judge them most of the time. But there's definitely an inner snark.
Yeah, there's inner snark, and then we share with each
100%.
other.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
things you would never
100%.
say, but to each other, we're like, she's not pulling this haircut off.
I
Let's
actually
be
feel that
honest.
way about you.
What?
That I can tell you, where I feel like half the time I cannot tell other people, and then I would be like, okay, I can tell Christine. She's not like, but
No, it's
I mean,
good.
as we work together, you know this because I think there's stuff that only I have told you.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I like being your confidant.
You need a buddy to talk shit with. I mean, that's just it.
100%.
Oh yeah,
That's
trusted
important.
ally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cameras are starting to die.
Yeah,
Let's
we
wrap
should
this
wrap
up.
it up.
Perfect. Yeah.
This was awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Hanah.
for
Yeah.
coming
Thank
over.
you. This is great. Yeah.
You come back anytime.
I think you guys are probably the coolest people I've ever met. Coolest people I know right now.
That's crazy.
You're pretty cool. This house is
really
pretty cool.
cool.
I feel like I come over here and I'm like, damn, I want to hang out with these people more. You
Come
guys
hang out anytime.
Yeah, I've been
do
inviting
things.
you over for so long. We got a craft over here. We can make music. We should really do that photo shoot with Robin.
And we're going to install poles.
I'm fucking down. Well, actually, or you just come over to my house. I have the trampoline. I have the poles. I make good dinner. But it's definitely an athletic yard.
Cool.
Nice.
Or it's just like, I'll teach you some stuff and
Cool.
make you jump on
Look
the
at it.
tree.
He loves exercises.
Do you?
Yeah. I mean, I'm working on it.
Yeah. Just
Like,
gotta
I'm easing into exercising.
You gotta just find something that's fun. That's
Yeah,
all it takes.
trampoline.
Yeah, I've
is
really
fun.
been enjoying swimming.
Swimming's great. Yeah.
I've just always been a person like I get into exercise and I go real hard and then I hurt myself
And then you
and then
stop.
there's like 6 months where I don't do anything. So
I was
just
like that too.
when I go work out, my goal is to
Yeah.
do more than 0 and leave and
Yeah.
not be hurt. That's all I'm trying
My
to do for
brother's
like
into
6
swimming.
months. And then after those 6 months, maybe I'll like push myself a little bit. But I don't push myself at all yet. I'm just like building base muscle that just doesn't exist because I'm 35 and I've never worked out a day in my life, So this is where I'm at. But I think I could jump on a trampoline for a few jumps.
Oh, yeah.
I would
Yeah.
get away with it.
Yeah.
We got this.
Okay.
Well,
All
and
right.
I'm gonna get the Lyra too. And by the time you guys come on, I mean, I'm just building a circus.
Yeah.
Sick.
Like,
All right.
I'm not lying.
See you dangling real soon.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Inside.